While we use the CFW300 drive in all of the videos in this series, everything we did in those videos also applies to the compact CFW100 drive, except for two things. First, while we used a single-phase 120-volt 1-horsepower CFW300 in all of the videos in this series, the CFW100 only goes to a half horsepower with a single-phase 120-volt input. So we have to use single-phase 240 volts as the power source to get 1 horsepower in a CFW100 drive. Second, the CFW300 has an analog input for the process variable on the base drive. The CFW100 doesn't, so we have to add an option module to get that analog input. The CFW100 has 3 option modules with analog inputs, so I just chose the least expensive one. This video does a side-by-side comparison of all of the option modules for the CFW100 and 300 drives. Now there's a little switch on the bottom that selects voltage or current input. It defaults to voltage, so I didn't need to change that. I just removed this cover, plugged the module in, and wired it like this. And since this appears to the drive as the same analog input one that we used on the CFW300 drive, we don't have to modify any parameters at all. How about that? Everything else is identical, so I just took all of the parameters that we used in the Quick Start and entered them directly into the CFW100 drive. Well, I have auto mode selected, so I'll switch to run, and sure enough, the CFW100 drive automatically adjusts the motor speed to maintain 6 psi. And if I change the load on the system by opening another valve, yep, PID automatically adjusts the motor speed to maintain that 6 psi. How about 2 more valves? Again, PID adjusts the motor speed to maintain 6 psi just like it did with the CFW300 drive. And that's the point. Everything we did in the PID series of videos using the CFW300 drive applies directly to the CFW100. That's it. I just used the exact same parameters as we used in the CFW300 drive, added an analog option module, and switched to a single-phase 240-volt supply, and everything just worked. If we compare apples to apples and use 240-volt drives for both, the drives were the same price when I made this video, but I had to add an option module to the CFW100. So if you're tight on cabinet space, then it's probably worth a couple dollars to have the smaller drive. Otherwise, the larger CFW300 is the way to go if you need to save a few dollars or you need to use a single-phase 120-volt supply. Click here to see all of the videos in this series which also apply to the CFW100 drive. Click here to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you'll be notified when we publish new videos, and click here to learn about Automation Direct's free award-winning support options.